This is eCoffee with Experts, where marketers and founders share what's actually working in SEO, AI, and digital growth. Grab your coffee and fuel your mind as we chat with top minds about their wins, struggles, and lessons you won't find in a blog post. Brought to you by Digital Web Solutions, we bring real talk to help you grow your business, one episode at a time. Let's get started.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to your show, Coffee with Experts. This is your host, Ranmay here. And today we have Raycheal Proctor, who is the founder and marketing director at Unlimited Mixed Marketing with us. Hey, Raycheal, how's it going?
It's going very well. How's it going with you?
Doing well. Thank you so much. Raycheal, before we move any forward, why don't you talk us through your journey a bit, how it all started to now being a speaker at the Brighton event? What has been your journey like? And also a bit about Unlimited Mixed Marketing, your agency. What do you guys do? What do you specialize in? And we'll take it off from there.
I began in digital marketing at a time where things were just moving outside of the realm of theoretical approaches. We had our traditional marketing foundations, but SEO, paid search, website optimization, things like that were still very theoretical, and the internet was still sort of forming together how it would work together, especially in a pay-per-view setting. I chose what I now describe as the Omnichannel approach. I wanted to learn as much as I can about all of the different ways that the internet works together. And that allowed me to create some phenomenal campaigns, work with some amazing clients, work with some utterly difficult clients, and see how things work together in this new exciting landscape. So that's how I got my start. And that's sort of the approach I took therein. Fast forward a gang of years, and I've developed some of my own philosophies and best practices, and was inspired to venture forth and see if these things and see how these things could truly come to fruition. Efficient systems, a truly omni-channel approach, and truly understanding the industry and the audiences of our clients through innate curiosity. So that's sort of why I started my agency, because I felt like there were some more efficient ways to provide value to clients.
And when you started your own agency, Rachel, how was it like, the initial few days, kind of getting the first few clients, ensuring that the deliverables are out on time? And as a founder, as a business owner, you'd be wearing multiple hats, right? You'd be selling, you'd be delivering, you'd be hiring, you'd be looking at books, kind of quite basically doing everything. So how challenging were the first few days, weeks, months?
It wasn't challenging at all for me. It was really fun. And the thing is, I was moonlighting this entire time. So I had my 9 to 5, as many people do, but I also had my other clients outside of that I worked with,
Mhm.
all within contractual agreements, of course. But I had my own systems and processes that I was developing. So it was a very organic shift from uh, working within the machine to building the machine.
And in your experience, because you have gone through the transition, right? What is the single biggest operational shift a small to mid-sized agency kind of must make before it can handle enterprise level clients sustainably?
So from my standpoint, the thing would be delegation. So
Hmm.
one of the reasons I chose to learn about all the different areas of marketing, digital marketing,
Yeah.
was because I needed to understand how the system worked. And back then there was a lot of theories and things were forever changing. Do you remember, Black Hat SEO days, like the Wild Wild
Yeah.
West, like how it was fun. It was exciting. It was, morally like on the fence, but it was a crazy time, right? It was when YouTube didn't have commercials and all these type of things where we were just out there helping our clients as best we could and building the bridge as we went. Now you could go to college campuses and there's digital marketing classes and things like that. We prayed to our Google overlords and hoped everything worked out. Going from that to where I am now, delegation, and we were laughing a bit earlier about sort of tag teaming different agencies, different partner agencies, or
Hmm.
even for me, I affectionately call some of my individual partners like my hired guns, the folks who come in, do the job, pull out, things like that. Right now, there's a good mix, but I really have enjoyed the agency partners that I have. And like I said, and my small but mighty team.
And for you, growing your own agency, right? What are some of the decisions on the way that you have taken? Some strategic decisions that you feel was, one of the major growth levers to kind of help your agency grow.
So moving with purpose, intention, and having a plan and consulting the correct professionals for that vision, for that clarity, but
Yeah.
also taking a step back. One of the things myself and other agency owners, sometimes we say yes to a lot of things. We say yes. And sometimes building those systems takes away from the systems that we already have in place. So even making sure that my clients are aligned with what I do and that I am aligned with what they need and how they would like to work. Does that answer that question or?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good.
It does. When you kind of look at 2025, now we are ending 2025, getting into 2026, which has been quite an eventful year from, all the AI evolution, all those tools kind of, mushrooming us. So how do you think, 2025 was from a SEO digital marketing point of view? And how do you think, where are we heading with 2026?
We'll have shifts, we'll have different updates, and we'll make a fuss about it, but we'll adjust. Right now, we don't have updates coming. An update is different from a whole new system and a whole new way of interacting with this
Yeah.
ecosystem that we have built and we've taken the time to understand and somewhat master. 2025 marks what I look at as of the days. And so 2026, some of the things I've been keeping up on, some of the strategies I have for my clients, I'm going back to again, online, offline strategies, making sure those are cohesive, making sure we have the right foundations because there's a lot of unknowns with 2026.
Hmm.
And I rather be as prepared as possible by making sure that at least the structure of what we have and what we're doing as a marketing service is set. So short answer, shit's changing and I'm not sure exactly um in which direction, but I know that all my clients and sort of in this bubble, in this universe, the foundation will be set to scale out.
And like we were talking about it earlier, you often emphasize that SEO is the foundation of omni-channel success, right? So what does that look like practically in today's AI shaped search ecosystem?
So that's a great question. So still have extreme belief. I still have the belief, and I still value, like I said, that foundation and the idea that folks are looking for information, whether it be to solve a problem, whether it be to answer trivia correctly. They're looking for solid advice. So I understood back in the day when we were keyword stuffing. I understood how to beat those systems. Then we get into the systems of creating good content. And we saw how that sort of evolved into the cacophony that we see before us. So we've evolved to that. Now I think we're getting back to hopefully having more credible sources, making sure those sources are more reliable. Going back to like the encyclopedia days is what it was. You kind of had to back up what you're saying. So China already started with having a different source requirement. So having said that, making sure that all the things that we can still rank for or the information that we're providing is good, solid, factual information. Not trying to game the system, just making sure that we're providing the correct information to the correct audiences.
And, with all of this AI and, uh, zero click search is happening, right? So with all the shift towards LLM driven discovery, as for you, what content formats are gaining disproportionate influence in B2B funnels?
So one of my strongest marketing strategies that I use for clients is called ABM, account-based marketing. So with account-based marketing, it's a hyper-targeted, message-driven campaign strategy that addresses the needs and pain points of different buyers groups. So this one stone from different vantage points has different crux and ways that can benefit that group. I give that context because with this, I feel that right now We do have a ton of your blog content, and you also have a lot of fluff content. So you have folks who have relied on the brand awareness campaign. Then from your brand awareness campaign, you have this gated content. From this gated content, you get a reach out from the sales team, etc. And that's a lot of, I believe, word heavy and sort of outcome focused content versus upfront good information from our subject matter experts, from our journals, from our folks who actually know the information versus a tenacious copywriter. So that's one of the things in content formats that I feel like is getting way more influence in these B2B conversations, which are creating longer buying cycles. And honestly, not informing the client or the marketing partner in the ways that they need to be informed, just because the content that is being provided is so outcome focused.
And you have been in operations for quite some time, Rachel. Now, what is one of the clearest operational mistake you see teams make when they attempt to run omnichannel campaigns without true integration?
Yeah, sure. So that's a great question. I'll say this comes in three parts. The first part is cross channel or cross room understanding of what's happening. It's important to understand what's happening at your desk. It's important to understand what's happening in your department. But to get that true omni channel synergy, as you would say, or that collaboration, you need to go across the office and understand what your colleagues are doing and just have an innate curiosity about how your work influences theirs and vice versa. So without that understanding and even without that communication, that's where we start seeing the lacks and gaps when folks are just all handing in their work. Either if someone has dictated this is what I want, or if everyone's just sort of working in their lane within their templates, etc., you're still going to get a choppy film, if you will. There that mesh and that one hand washing the other isn't going to be there if you don't have that communication and collaboration.
And what is that one ABM practice B2B teams continue to execute incorrectly despite so many sophisticated tools being widely available now these days?
Yeah. So what I'm going to describe is something that you don't need a tool for it. You don't need an app download for it. You don't need to input your credit card information for it. It's sales marketing alignment. Understanding what your sales team is doing and what your marketing team is doing and how those work together and how those feed one another. One of the reasons I got into the ABM marketing strategy was I was working with a gentleman in Houston, Texas, and we had to work together. He was a head sales guy. I was a head marketing person. And we talked every day. I would eavesdrop on his calls. He would stand in the office and watch what I was doing. And it was just that collaboration, that level of collaboration.
Yeah.
Our bottom line that day spoke for itself. We were off the charts. But that's what I would say. No tools needed, no membership needed, just that sales marketing alignment.
And your favorite AI tools, I mean, your go-to tools these days?
I need to understand what's going on before I subscribe to a lot of AI. And right now, my workflows are efficient enough that I haven't been doing uh, the research and all the new tools and new processes because I've been really working round the clock to make sure that our clients have the foundation and the processes and all that stuff in place so we can actually scale up and do some really incredible marketing. Honestly speaking, what's it called when you're see-through? I forgot the word. It starts with a T, but I'm not going for all the new tools right now.
And what is your favorite client story, Rachel? You have been in the space for quite some time now. I've dealt with clients across different industries, niches. So if you were to pick one client story which is very close to your heart, which one would that be?
So actually, it's a case study I have,
Hmm.
and this was a client in Houston, Texas. Set the scene for you, and it was two retirement homes. And this is going to be kind of I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. It's just two retirement homes, and they had two very different sisters running each retirement home under a blanket company, right? And so one sister was very theatrical, very flamboyant, and had the nicer hotel, or not hotel, the retirement home. And it was filled. The waiting list went on for 7 or 8 years. Then the second sister was more subdued, but she didn't care about external validation or recognition or anything like that. She just wanted to fill her retirement home. It was empty and it was also a bit outdated. So at the time, I'm also a musician, so I hang out at a lot of jazz spaces, and it just so happens sometimes jazz spaces back in this time were I'm not going to get canceled and say that folks from that demographic just cut that part out. But pretty much a lot of the folks I was spending time with were also close to retirement home age. And so I started learning more about that because in my family, I didn't know about sending parents to retirement homes. So there was a level of curiosity there as well. So I learned a lot about the industry. I learned a lot about their sales, how long their pipeline lasted. And it turns out it lasted a very long time, sometimes up to a decade. And for these waiting lists and all the different folks within their buyers committee. You're looking at parents, you're looking at spouses, you're looking at healthcare providers. All these people have a influence on that final decision. And so from that, I decided to address all of their needs and understand when someone's looking for a retirement home, that's not the time to provide marketing or provide information or guidance to them. If we're looking at marketing as a dissemination of information versus this transactional thing, they are looking for retirement homes maybe when they start looking for ADA contractors to come in and make alterations or say changes to their home so that they could better, get around on a wheelchair, walker, et cetera, ramp installation. So I started there with our SEO practices. So our foundation shifted. It just wasn't luxury retirement homes. We started looking at the entire pipeline. We started looking at the different folks in the buyers committee. Did a complete website revamp, as you know, that usually happens. But within that website revamp, I took one hotel and had a very strong paid search campaign, and I had aggressive goals for myself. I wanted to rule a couple, as our goals are. We want to rule this keyword, and we'll talk about it at
Yeah.
Christmas dinners. I rule this keyword, and so had that. And then for the other hotel, she became a thought leader in that space. We took those theatrics. She held workshops, public speaking. She developed a podcast, and I used that information to fuel the other hotel. And we started seeing incrementally those numbers go up, and the wait list became longer and longer for the already filled establishment. And from that, I was able to go in and see what their intake system was like, sit with their call center, sit with their liaisons of folks who are having conversations with the different members of the buyers committee and refine that process and also get feedback from that process to inform our content. So now we had a living, breathing marketing, sales ecosystem that began truly thriving. And I believe that has been the one I'm most proud of and one I get the most excited about because I was able to really orchestrate what became a tremendous success. So that's that one. And I learned a lot. I learned a ton.
Lovely, lovely. Great, Rachel. This has been a brilliant conversation. For our audience, if they want to reach out to you, how would they do that?
Yeah, sure. So connect with me on LinkedIn would be the easiest way. I know the links are right here. Connect with me on LinkedIn, shoot me a message. And from there, happy to set up other coffee times. I live in Southern California. Always love to meet in person as well. So this
Yeah.
has been wonderful.
Lovely. Thank you once again, Rachel. This has been a great conversation. Cheers, man. Cheers, yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.